Google NotebookLM is one of the most exciting tools for educators, and one of the things I love about it is there are new features that come up all the time. This video is going to explore the new data tables feature, what they are, how you can make them, and some of the ways you can use them in education. Now, I have previously made a tutorial showcasing how you can use and create things on NotebookLM, so it's worth going and checking that out. And there is also a separate video on ways you can use it. This is just going to focus on the data tables. So to start off with, we have a blank notebook. Now, as with all of the NotebookLM, we can add sources. The sources can be a website, a YouTube video, a document, or even just some copied text. What we're going to do is we're going to copy some text over. I'm going to showcase a model text to start off with. So I've copied over a model text from the Talk for Writing model text examples. They have a range. It's a really useful website, and all I'm going to do is insert that. Now, as I've shown you in previous tutorials, you could use all sorts of different resources and sources inside this. So to start off with, we can just simply tap data table and it would create a generic data table of some sort. But to make it a little bit more custom, we want to come into this area here and we want to press the custom data table. I love the fact that you can change the language, which is great for supporting learners who are, English as an additional language, or those English language learners. And then we're going to write a prompt. Now, with this prompt, I want to create a data table that pulls out the HE language. I'm going to do like a word classification lesson. I want to look at the different adjectives. I want to look at the different verbs and nouns. Just coming pretty simple to start off with. Now, obviously, you can classify this yourselves. In terms of the columns and rows, that's what you really want to focus on. Columns, I want the adjectives, verbs, nouns, and the rows, I want the various words. This is a UK spelling, UK curriculum. I want it to be suitable for children. Now, personally, I think with prompts, this is pretty good. I think this will be, nowadays, with the prompt formats that we have, this is good enough. But what you can use is a large language model, depending on what your school has. Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, depends on what's compliant for your school. And you can ask it then to basically create a better prompt. Let's do that now. So all I'm asking is for it to turn this into a better prompt for NotebookLM data table. I'm just going to use the fast model. I think it would be better. And you can see here, it's created a really comprehensive prompt here too. I'm going to leave out the markdown table because that's what we're going to be creating, the markdown table. Let's go back to NotebookLM. We're going to input the prompt. You'll see it's all spaced out now, and we simply press generate. And you can see the generating table is here on the side. So we will come back to that when it's created. Okay, so the vocabulary extraction is here, and you can see what it's done is just branch that out slightly. Of course, it's just one text, quite a short text as well, so it's not gone into loads of detail. The only thing we don't need is this source on the side. It's just telling us where the source is from. But obviously, to copy that across now, it's not quite right. So if I wanted to do anything with this, what I would need to do is export it to Sheets, and it would simply do that. Then from there, I can delete this source, go with that, and I can start to take this away, and I can put this then as a table into a document too. From there, let's showcase some of the different ways that you can use this. So I personally think data tables are best for those curriculum leaders, and it does a really good job of amalgamating information. So here is the history curriculum overview that has been created by NotebookLM for the history curriculum in the UK. So here, what I asked it to do, if I just show that prompt, simple prompt as well. You're a curriculum leader, you're given an overview of the history curriculum. I want the different columns of the curriculum area, statutory and non-statutory rows. I want you to show me the year group and what information is needed should be laid out with detail. So here you've got where that is. Key stage 1 changes within memory. It's statutory. I mean, most of it's going to be statutory, right? There's no non-statutory here. So here we've got what it is, the curriculum area, the statutory or non-statutory, along with those examples as well. So obviously here, for example, with the non-European society, there's always lots of different ones you can study. Most schools go for Mayans, but some don't. Then it gives those different skills and curriculums that you can kind of delve into there too. So as a former humanities leader, this would be quite useful for giving that overview, and I would just tinker and tail away with the prompt that I've included there. With a YouTube video that I've created, this is one of the ones that I create for my podcast, not on the lesson plan. It delved into passive income streams for teachers. And again, if we just export that open, some of the different passive income streams that teachers might have. So, AdSense, different resources that you can have, and then where that's the category, and then the different way that you can make money on it. So Etsy, tests, different webinars, online courses, etc., etc. Moving out of that, this is a separate vocabulary list based on some of the language inside the Gruffalo that I showcased in my ways that you can use NotebookLM video. So you've got all of the different words here inside the text, the definition, the example sentence, and then where the context is. So this is really useful for supporting language learners. And I thought, it's supportive for helping those language learners. So I thought I'd make one in French then that gives some of the easy words, what those definitions are, and then some word classifications along with bit more information. The next way this could be used is, it's just quite a fun one, to be honest with you. When you think about it, teachers have lots of holidays, and as a result, often want to know where some of the best places to go are. This is just an example. You could also use it for things like history. What I've done is I've amalgamated a couple of different websites of best places to go, and then I've asked it to create that data table. If I just show you the prompt, create table, best time to visit different locations, and I've just said for the countries, I want the country, month, and why. So we've got the country, the month, and the why. And then we've got all these different locations here. Some are spanning across. So we've got USA, which is January, June, July, and December. So obviously that kind of winter time for the festive period, and then the summertime. But then it's then gone and dated down. So there's a few that I agree with. So Maldives, Sri Lanka, those are amazing places in February. I have been to those places in February, which is crazy. But that comes from the first website. And then as we go down to the second website, it's just kind of spring, autumn. So Portugal in the spring. I've been to Portugal in spring, so I can agree with that. And then Jordan in spring. I don't think I've been to Jordan in spring, but I have been to Jordan. And yeah, you don't want to go when it's too hot, because trying to do Petra, one of the wonders of the world, when it's super hot, not fun. You can use it to create data tables from meetings. So if I just show you this here, it's done it. It's given what happened during the meeting, staffing updates, operational compliance, what happened, what actions are needed, and who was the target audience inside that. I need to put a big asterisk over this. While it can do staff meetings and things like that, the information that is shared in staff meetings is often confidential. So you need to be extremely careful of that information that is shared so that you don't potentially jeopardize your position. It's always really important to check with senior leadership, compliance teams, that what you can use these for, because I would be slightly concerned about using it in a school setting for meetings, but I just wanted to show that it was possible. There we go. Really, really useful. Data tables, there are so many different uses. You could use it in maths to look at classifying different information. Science, if you've got results, you could start to create data tables based on the results in science too. All sorts of different uses. And if you wanted to go and check out my ways that you can use NotebookLM video, you can do that up here. Don't forget as well, I have a guide called Edtech Empowered, full of 80 free websites and tools that teachers are absolutely loving. It talks about how I use it, why I love it, and ways that you can use it too. So feel free to go and check that out, and I'll see you in another video. Until then, I'm out.